Monkey Boy. Yo, what's up? This is DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris. Diamond Dallas Page is going to make you feel the bang.
And we are back. This is Knockout Radio coming to you at the top of the hour. Going back out to L.A. to Skid Row, otherwise known as Media Row, for Super Bowl 56. Randy, have you been to Skid Row yet? Is it a real place?
You know, yes, Skid Row is a real place. I don't know if we drove through and walked 2 blocks of something that I bet you was pretty close to it if it wasn't Skid Row.
You would know it's
It was
Skid
off
Row,
of Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, no, that's not Skid Row.
Oh, okay.
No, Skid Row's around here. It's not too far.
I thought Skid Row wasn't Skid Row a band that you used to hang out? Okay.
Yeah, I think Steve Lunay was part of that. He looks like
What?
Skid Row. He looks like a guy from Skid Row.
If anybody on Skid Row looks like Sabastian Bach, I'm going over there. Okay? Not the case.
I don't know who Sebastian Bach is.
He's the lead singer of Skid Row.
I wouldn't know that. So I know we told the story the other day, but I'll tell it again. So we had to go down. You know, everybody has their bucket list of things to do, and Steve wanted to cry, so we went to Rainbow something, and there's a big statue there of Lemmy
from Motorhead.
So we went to go see Lemmy. We went to go do some stuff, and as we're walking back, you know, Steve stops in his tracks, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" He goes, "That's him." I go, "That's who?" "That's him right there." I go, "That's who?" "I don't know what you're talking about." So I guess it was the guy from
Rage Against the Machine. Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine. So, you know, he got all happy, got to talk to him and got a photo. And I wouldn't know Rage Against the World, not alone Rage Against the Machine.
Did you go to Whiskey A Go-Go out there while you're there? Have you been there yet?
Whiskey A Go-Go. Is that the other place we walked to? Yeah, we walked to. I took some pictures of him. I stood in the middle of the street. I almost got hit twice. So it would have been very difficult. Bob? Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you made it through, Randy.
So Chuck Liddell en route. How you doing? I don't know what we're doing here. How are you, sir? All right. Yeah. All right. We're getting ready to welcome Bob Golic and BJ Ganem. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Turn that down a minute. I got to take back all my jokes and all the things and all the rips that I do on Marines.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Well,
I'm not scared.
Well, no, I know you're not scared. I know you're not scared. You know, there's a rule, and I know that you're going to know this, so that I'm Navy veteran, an Army veteran there, and I hold it against her as well.
Sure.
But
and then there's an Army veteran right there, Mike Smith, with his service dog, Zeus.
Oh, that's cool.
Nobody else can make fun of you being a Marine, you know, non-military. But since we're military, my brother-in-law's a Marine and all that kind of stuff.
My dad was a Marine. My father-in-law is Navy.
Oh, wow.
And so it was thank you so much for driving us to the battle.
Right.
Appreciate that.
Like, the Navy likes to say that the Marines are the department of the Navy. And, you know, we used to say we were the men's department. Because we have a lot of females that are kicking butt in the military. We can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
So we just go back to we're the best. At the end of the day, we're the best. That's why the Army,
first
the
in,
Navy.
last out.
That's right.
We need our jarheads.
Now see, I was told that they're called jarheads because you have to unscrew the top of their head so that you can pour information in. And then you screw that closed.
That's why we get things done. We don't think about it. We just go do it.
I didn't realize that where the term leatherneck came from.
Yeah, that's the old uniform.
But it was the old uniforms back when they're battling the Barbary pirates.
Yeah.
They had the high leather collars to keep from the swords.
The blade
Right.
going
The
through.
blades
I didn't know
going
that.
through.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a coat of armor.
That
That's
seems
right.
like it would chafe, though.
Yeah.
The Barbary Pirates was our first war overseas. Fought somewhere else, and the Marines were the ones that did it.
The
Army,
Barbary Pirates. I didn't know that.
the Army just sat back and, you know.
Well, you know, the A in Army's for apathy, okay? All right. There's 8 years in there.
We'll meet you at Ton Tavern. Nah, we
Yeah.
can't make it. We got a dinner to go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to start the Marines
We
in.
need to
polish
get
my
our
boots.
PT belts.
Yeah.
Totally.
Let's talk about the
Randy-
Wounded Warrior
Randy's
football
like,
team real
what's
quick.
PT?
Right?
Who?
Go ahead.
We'll study on military for a second. So I'm getting ready to go into the military, and my dad says to me, I know you don't listen to my advice often, But here's the one piece of advice I'm going to give you. Make sure whatever rate you decide to go, it's in an air-conditioned facility. So I went as an operations specialist, which is like an air traffic controller, and the last place that loses air is CIC, is the Combat Information Center.
Look at that.
So I don't know about work and PT, and I don't know about what any of that stuff
You know about
is.
coffee and screens, huh?
I know about screens. I've never had coffee in my life.
Oh,
but
my gosh. You're in the Navy, and you never had coffee
Never
in your
had-
life?
nope.
I thought it was like mandatory you had to drink it in your 4-week boot camp.
No, when we were leaving Boston, it was 8 weeks, and I really didn't do much. We were pulling out of Boston, and an officer brought me a cup of coffee, and I didn't know what to do with it because I've never had it, so I poured it on my hands to warm my hands up. For a second.
For a second.
Let's talk about the Wounded Warrior football team, and I don't know, is this the same team that came to Tampa and played a handful of years ago?
It is.
I still have my jersey framed.
I love it, and we have rebranded it to the Stars and Stripes. The Stars and Stripes Tribute Flag Football. We're inviting all vets. Instead of just amputees, we're centering it behind Sierra Delta. And Sierra Delta is the nonprofit I founded that is a wellness program for all vets. Navy, Army, Air Force even.
Do we have to include Coast Guard?
We're including the Coast Guard, too. Wow. Everybody, right?
You know the rule about Coast Guard?
What's that?
This is true. You have to be 6 feet or taller to be in the Coast Guard.
Why?
That way, if the ship sinks, they can walk back to shore.
Just graduated from the Coast Guard Academy, and he's 5'11". Yeah, he must have lied.
So yes,
all right, get back. I'm sorry.
Even the short vets, tall vets, it doesn't matter. We are gamifying the relationship with dogs. We do help veterans get to that medical assistant service dog that you see Mike Smith, a 24-year Army vet, and now a Paralympic triathlete. You see him there with his dog Zeus. But that's only half the percent of the veterans need that. The rest of us really need what's commonly called like an emotional support animal or a therapy dog, but telling guys like us that we need that, no, that doesn't work. So we created a Life Buddy program, right? Life Buddy,
Yeah, that's
right?
great.
We're reestablishing that fire team, right? In the military, that's the smallest unit you had for those of us that were in combat arms. I'm just kidding. And so it's 1 to 4 or 2 to 4 people, right? Well, I can't give you another person. But most of us already have a dog or either want a dog. And then what we can do is give you an app that helps you with a bunch of different training and husbandry and how you can interact with that dog. And then support you with professional trainers in your area that can help polish that stone and get those behavioral techniques down. And then we create this great community of people that love their country and love dogs and want to serve their communities. And so we layer in not only what you do with your dogs, but what you do in your community, and we all win. The dogs win, the vets win, the public wins, because we're all getting just a little bit better, and that's what makes us different. We're not a disability program, a wellness program. All vets are welcome to join, and then we'll just figure it out. I don't have all the answers. We just started it in 2017. We got a lot of support. We did 1,000 vets into the program last year. We've been learning every year.
And Bob, how did you get involved in it?
But they actually brought me out for one of the first games.
Yeah.
And they realized at that point that I was better at standing on the sidelines and talking than actually running around. So, but I always felt like, well, I can't play because my ankle is hurting me. And, BJ's like, wish I had one.
Yeah.
right.
Listen, I can get you an extra foot out there.
Exactly. Kicking the butt.
That's right.
But but as a old veteran player, you're coming out there and it's just incredible. And veterans both, and I know BJ has a tendency to try to lump us all together, and in a very positive way. But the reality is that you guys you guys go far beyond what we are.
Each other now.
Yeah.
We need each other now.
Yeah.
And you've seen the healing on both sides.
I have.
So let's stop comparing and we need to tear down these barriers in this country. The one thing that I saw in Iraq that scares the crap out of me is that I saw people that I thought were all the same. But one was Shia and one was Sunni. And they were doing the worst things to each other, murdering each other. And they've been doing it for 2,000, 3,000 years. We're on that same course. Either we're going to continue to yell at each other and call each other names and blame each other for stuff in the past, or we're going to find a way to come together and work on solving the problem. Yeah. That's what Sierra Delta set out to do. There's no reason in 2022 with 35,000 years of humans and dogs working together, that veterans should be on a 4-year waiting list just to get an enhanced relationship with
Absolutely.
dogs. Let's just make this reasonable and sustainable, and let's have fun doing it. And I mean, here we are playing flag football against NFL legends.
Yeah.
Right? How many times did we play in the service when we had PT? We would do football.
Right.
Right. And then most of us are pretending. Well, probably weren't pretending to be Bob Golic. But probably
nobody wanted to be Bob.
Before we run out of time,
Yes,
where is the game? When is the game?
The game already happened.
Oh, it already happened?
Tuesday. And but there's going to be more coming.
Okay.
But SierraDelta.com. Follow us on all the social media. Learn about it. Donate if you like. But more importantly, see what we're doing and see how you can help. We need everybody.
Are you around all week?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can we get you back on tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Can we get you back on tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
We need to talk some Raiders.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I still have my jersey. I don't think I was supposed to take it.
No, you
but,
actually were.
But it's in my studio.
We're going to Jacksonville and May 1st. We're putting it together.
I'll drive from Tampa.
Perfect.
I'll come up.
Get
We'll
it
talk
done.
about it.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, let's go hit a quick break. I do not want to get my butt kicked. Chuck Liddell coming up next.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is Benny Blaze from the University of Miami, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
The Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, presented by RP Funding, roars through the streets of beautiful downtown St. Petersburg, February 25th to the 27th. Tickets are on sale now at gpstpete.com. It's fast, fun, family entertainment, jam-packed into all 3 days. 10 races in all are on the weekend schedule. The big NTT IndyCar Series race takes the green flag on Sunday afternoon. It all happens at the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, presented by RP Funding, February 25th to the 27th. Get your tickets at gpstpete.com.
We will once again broadcast from Radio Row in the upcoming Super Bowl, and very excited to announce that our home base will be the Hyatt House in Anaheim. The Hyatt House is located near Angel Stadium, Disneyland, and the Honda Center, and a short drive from LAX. They also provide free breakfast. Yes, please. From the suites with kitchens or the bunk beds for the kids, they have many options for your experience. Check out these reviews from previous guests. One reviewer said the location was just perfect, while another said the hotel was great and staff was friendly. If you're headed to visit Anaheim or the LA area, you'll want to call the Hyatt House at Convention Center your home base as well.
The biggest bare knuckle event ever, Knuckle Mania 2. It's a grudge match as Mike Perry takes on Julian Lane. Also, Luis Palomino defends his title against the hard-hitting Martin Smash Brown. And Christine Faria knuckles up with Britain Hart for the second time. This time, it's for the first ever women's flyweight title. Plus, Chad Mendez makes his highly anticipated debut against BKFC vet Fames. Saturday, February 19th, only on Bare Knuckle TV. Download it at bkfc.com.
Calling all Rocky Balboa fans, check out the sock collection available at oddsocksofficial.com. If you're a Breaking Bad fan or WWE or South Park, check out the sock collection available at oddsocksofficial.com. Scarface, Godfather, Back to the Future, and Jaws, and many others available at oddsocksofficial.com. Double Dare, SpongeBob, Street Fighter, and did I mention Rocky Balboa? All available at oddsocksofficial.com. That's oddsocksofficial.com. If you can't find a pair to wear, then why do you have feet?
What were you doing 10 years ago? For me, I founded the Tour de Pizza, Tampa Bay's only cycling-themed pizzeria, where we combine gourmet pizza with an active lifestyle. Home of the world-famous pizza diet? At Tour de Pizza, we truly have a pizza for every body. Classic New York style, Chicago deep dish, whole wheat low carb, flax and millet grain free, and cauliflower crust to name a few. Proudly serving the greater St. Petersburg area for the past decade and running. 2 locations, 1 great pizza. That's Tour de Pizza.
Construction companies always face hiring challenges. Do you need temporary help on your project? Or maybe you want a true partner for all of your staffing needs? Staff Zone is construction staffing excellence, providing both skilled and general labor positions. And we want to work for you. For all of your construction staffing needs, call us at 877-247-ZONE or visit us online at thestaffzone.com to find your local branch. Our staffing professionals are eager and ready to earn your business. That's 877-247-ZONE.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is Matt Ryan from the Atlanta Falcons by way of Boston College. You're listening to my man.
And we are back. This is day 3 of our special broadcast for Super Bowl 56. Things have been heating up on Media Row, but I got a feeling that things are going to get ice cold in a moment. So, Randy, who you got out there in Media Row today?
Only Matt could do that like that. Throw the zingers like that. Well, Chuck's got some smiles on his face, which I wouldn't have expected after standing in line for how long were you out there?
I don't know. It was a while.
I apologize.
No, it's all right. You're lucky I like you.
I believe you. I know that.
I was debating. I can leave. I think.
I think I can leave a little bit.
See, I would have thought they would have put you to the front of the line.
I would have too.
I know, because sometimes, when you're not smiling, don't take this the wrong way, but you're kind of scary looking. You gotta look crazy when you're not smiling, and then it totally changes,
I get that a lot.
It's worked for you.
I used to get that all the time. People tell me, hey, look, you need to smile. Everyone thinks you're mad.
You look at your pictures online, you look like you're going to kill somebody.
So I don't know if I should say this publicly, and if I say it and you're mad and you punch me, I deserve it. But, when people don't know you, they think that. And then when you get to know you, you really are a teddy bear. I mean, you really are a super cool, down to earth.
Well, yeah, and it actually works. It works good for me. Like I meet people and say hi to them, and I'm polite, and they'll brag about how nice I was. I had to go to my friends. Like, what did you do? They said you were so nice, and I'm like, I said hi. I said my name. I don't know. Said hello. Said bye. I don't.
Shook their hand. I don't know.
Shook their hand. I guess they didn't bite their.
I didn't body slam them, so they thought it was nice.
What do you think? And we haven't talked in a little while. We've been friends a long time, and I remember asking you and Randy, and don't get mad, Tito. Back in the day, what happens if MMA and the UFC, which is the NFL of MMA, gets to the level where we want it to be? And you all said, it'll be the same. It'll be this. It'll be that. Are you surprised that it's gotten to the level that it's at? And when I asked Dana, he said, it really didn't happen overnight. It took time.
Oh, it took a lot of time. And, honestly, if it wasn't for, back before the Ultimate Fighter, that was a last ditch effort to really pump it up and get it out there, get out to general media, get people to actually take a chance on it. And and since then it's exploded. I mean, I always thought it's the greatest sport in the world. So I always thought it'd get there, and everyone likes watching fights, but if you get there, but I always thought it'd take a lot longer than it did. So, but and it's even exploded. I said that a while back. Even that, it's exploded faster than I thought it would.
Do you ever think it'll get to the Olympics?
I don't know. I mean, that's always a different thing. I mean, because it's hard to translate it into the amateur sport. Because I mean, even the amateurs I see, like most of the amateur fights are just guys doing the same thing but not getting paid. No. There's not much of a difference. There's no headgear. There's sometimes I'll have shin pads on or something, but that's not that much of a help. So I don't know.
See, because Matt asks all the time, and I'm like, it's just a different sport. Even though boxing, they can do it and they can still fight and whatever. But MMA, you have a tendency to get hurt more. Whether it's the arm or the leg or the knee or whatever. And I don't know if you can go full force. I mean, you were back in the day when it was the tournament, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little different too. Like it's not like boxing. Amateur boxing and pro boxing, those are different animals.
Right.
You can be like a great Olympic boxer and not actually translate into. I mean, it's get knocked out. I saw one in where was it? By Fresno, the Indian casino out there. I was out there watching him fight. This kid was like a gold medalist. He was, fighting on whatever the show was, and he's fighting a guy that was 12-12. Came in with his coach holding the water bucket, and he had his whole fan for it. And this kid get hit, man. He was getting dotted up, but first round I kept going, man. If he lands one of those, Jesus, and dropped him right there. I hit him, shocked him right at the end of the first round. By the end of the second round, he was out cold. He's one of those guys like padded record. Coming off of being a,
What
amateur.
makes it change? I mean, do you think it's a mindset?
Well,
how can somebody be so good?
Power and speed. I mean, it's more. You're rewarded for the speed and more for speed and technique in amateur boxing than you are. I mean, pro. A lot of those guys, if you don't hit hard enough, a lot of those, they don't hit hard enough to scare that other guy or keep him from oh yeah, I'm ready for this. They go out there and punch him. I'm going to beat him up. I mean, that thing that Howard Davis Jr. problem he had. He just didn't have enough power.
No power.
Because I mean, he had the dubious honor of being of that boxing class. He was the most outstanding boxer.
Right.
In the Olympics.
Yep.
But he had the dubious honor of being the only gold medalist that year that never won a world title.
That didn't go and succeed. I ask a lot of.
He did well, but he just never made it. He never quite. He just get those last guys and they figure out that he's just outpointing them and go, oh, okay, hold on, I'll take a few punches.
Right. Just to nail him. I've asked a lot of, older legends. I remember I asked Otto Graham, who was the highest paid player in the NFL 2 years in a row. I said, did you ever think about what if you played today? And some athletes, they take it, the wrong way and they're, yeah, I wished I would have played. Have you thought about, if you were 20 years, 25 years younger and the Iceman fought today?
Well, the biggest thing I think would have happened, I would have had a lot more fights. I would have fought a lot more. Because, I would have stayed active. Because, I was ready to go. Like, I've had fights where, it just depends on what the fight is. But a lot of times, I'm happy to fight again. I got Randleman and Guy Metzger in 3 weeks. I knocked out, minute 18, I knocked out Randleman, and then they came and asked me, do you want to fight in Japan in 3 weeks? And I'm like, perfect. I take 1 week off, and 1 week to get put in a game plan, and 1 week back to fighting.
Yeah.
Because I loved it.
Because back then, not the heyday, the beginning of the UFC, it was like every 3 months, every 4 months, 6 months. During my career, I figured out I averaged about, 5 fights every 2 years.
I've got to wonder.
That's crazy. And now guys are doing 5 fights in 9 months.
It's and you're credited, of course, with bringing MMA to the mainstream of America. That's widely credited for that. But if we didn't have it, what would you have done instead?
I would have been. I probably would have. I had a degree in accounting, so I probably would have got a real job for a little while at least. I don't know.
A degree. Chuck Liddell has a degree in accounting. I would have never guessed that, though. See, that's what I mean by you look at you and you're just until you get to know you. Totally different person than what people might think.
When Nick One Kick actually asked me if I want to do a mixed fight, my first mixed fight I did. Because my friend Alfie Alcaraz told him, he's like, hey, so Nick came to I wrestled, and he goes, hey, Alfie says you're a pretty good wrestler. You want to do a mixed fight? I'm like, sure, why not? So we did an open hand fight. In Vegas at the Orleans, and then someone there asked me if I want to fight in the UFC. Right before that, I had a conversation with John about, I love doing what we're doing. I love working out with you. I love training and fight kickboxing, but I got to go get a real job, man. My grandma's getting, wait, when are you get a real job? When are you going to get graduated, go do your thing.
Take care of family. Yeah.
And I was like, and I think I still would have always done martial arts, but I was, I was thinking about it. And then that just, that catapulted me into next part. All of a sudden I got really excited about fighting. I'm like, oh, hey, I love this. And so we started, and good thing I made that choice.
Timing meets up with talent.
So I don't know if I ever told you this story, but this story to me is crazy. So you come to Tampa. I mean, I know you remember when you came to Tampa, and I picked you up, and this is Chuck. Jerry Rice was in the same hotel. Jerry Rice got in a limo. Chuck got in my Explorer, and we drove over to Pinellas Park, and we went to our gym. And so Chuck comes into the gym, and then we walk next door to a little, like a 7-Eleven type of place. And a car, I don't know if you remember this, but a guy comes running into the store. He drove over the median. He forgot to put the car in park, and he hit the store because he saw Chuck Liddell walking in.
You're kidding. Did he
now, he might not know that.
No, but yeah, I get that all people all the time.
I get that all the time. People are crashing into things looking at me.
People people like, we were at Disneyland and someone like, come on, bro. Hey, like, hey, let me grab your kids rolling away in a Like, wait, whoa. Hey, you can't. Here you go. Okay, now we take a picture. But
that is crazy.
Do you like that? I mean, do you mind that?
I don't mind it. Look, I got paid a lot of money to do what I love for a living, and fans are the reason why. And our fans are so genuine. I mean, most of them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got some stupid stories of people doing stupid stuff, or people being entitled, but for 99% of the time, it's guys that really, truly, and are happy to see you. They're happy to get a picture. You made their day better, or they made their week better, whatever. And I mean, I don't get it sometimes, but if I was able to help you out, motivate you to get Pat through something or do something, hey man, it makes me happy.
What's the weirdest thing a fan has ever asked from you?
If you're cool to get in my Explorer and drive over to my gym in Pinellas Park.
That would be Randy. Outside of Randy, what's the oddest thing that's ever asked? Or experience you've had with a fan?
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of really weird ones. I don't know which way you go with that.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck.
Just like you said, I had a guy in front of my with the kid there, hey, can you sign my happy? And they pulled out his pants. He had it out on his ass.
What?
Did you sign it?
I'm like,
dude, you're so
sure.
Cool. Oh, I love it.
Wow.
He's like, I'm gonna get it tattooed. I'm like, okay. I don't know if he ever did, but
I bet he did. Matt, do you have something?
Yeah. So Chuck, look, you were around when the UFC was, at the beginning stages. Guys were still working regular jobs and pursuing this dream of being a pro paid fighter. And now I know you're part of the ice barrel company. And recovery and how important it is to recover after fights. So have you been doing ice baths and those kind of therapies your whole career, or is this something you're doing later now as you're retired?
Actually, it started in 04 when I did Ultimate Fighter. They went in, since I was on their insurance for the Ultimate Fighter, they had me going and get checked for everything. And I went in to the doctor, and he actually told me, I think you need surgery on both knees because I had my MCLs. So after the season, I was supposed to get surgery on both knees, and I went into Curlin Job, and they looked at me, and they looked at me, and they said, you know what? 5 years ago, we would have definitely had surgery on those, but now I really like you to go home, ice after every workout, and jump in, and then once before you go to bed, and see how you give a couple months and see how it is. And my knee stopped hurting, and I had a problem with my shoulders at the time. Both of them, my shoulder, I shot this one up 3 times and this one up twice with cortisone for fights because I couldn't. When I get real active in training for a fight, I couldn't lift it above here. Like when I fought Randleman, I couldn't do that. I didn't warm up to. And that's what I knocked out with. But I was like this. So I started icing. I said, well, maybe this will work for my shoulders. Now by 2004, I shot it up. This one up 3 times. This one up twice. By 2010, I never shot them up again. After icing every day, doing the ice bath, I was doing an ice bath every night. And after training, I do once in the morning, once at night, and I used to do 20 minutes. I think that's excessive now. They say you don't need that many, but I used to do 20 minutes, and then in the morning I do 20 minutes, and then I go in the jacuzzi. And then at night I just do 20 minutes, go to bed.
How long does it take? All right, you're in there for 20 minutes. How long until you're numb and it's no longer cold?
It doesn't stop being cold.
Oh, so it stinks the whole 20 minutes.
I mean, and honestly, I was like, oh, you do it all the time. You're used to it. No, I hate it every time.
You do your whole body because your shoulders you have to, right?
I would go under my neck.
Crazy. Well, over your career, is there one fight that you kind of think of as that's the fight, that's the one?
Everyone, when they ask me that, I think if you put a gun to my head, it's right after Ultimate Fighter, right fighting Randy's the biggest crowd. And I avenged the loss, did it the way I like to do it. Did it how I thought I would do it. That was something we worked on, pivoting off and hitting that right hand. And it was a great opponent, and it was just that one. And I got the title I've been after for so long.
Right.
I finally had it.
Want to bring up? I would be wrong to not do it. Just the relationship that you had, and we both had with Ryan Bennett. I still think of him often. I still think of, the things that you did with Ryan. And what do you think Ryan would, and I hate this type of question, but what Ryan would think where MMA is and where the UFC is now? Because he is supposed to be here with us as MMA is expanding.
Right. Yeah. That's sad. But yeah, I'm sure he's, I expected us to get here. I he was like everyone. He's like, we probably shocked how far it went so fast, but yeah, it was a good time with him. Man.
I didn't mean to bring it down. The conversation. It's just I felt we needed to talk about Ryan. I mean,
I haven't thought about him in a while. I
think about him often.
He was a good dude.
Yeah, I definitely think about him often. We're here at the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Rams and the Bengals. Give me your take. Give me your thoughts. How much of a football fan are you?
Well, I did a fantasy football show with Jay. You know that.
Right.
The last couple of years I haven't had as much time because I've been busy doing stuff. I haven't watched as close. I haven't played fantasy this last 2 years. I played for like 25 years. I played back when we were doing it out of the paper. So I haven't followed it as much. But I was following the playoffs pretty well, and Green Bay lost, and so I'm rooting for the Rams. That was my grandpa's team. And I think they got it. I mean, with Odell Beckham coming over, I think that was the extra piece. I mean, we'll see. I mean, since he keeps pulling it out, but I think the Rams, unless barring some miracle, I think the Rams are going to win it.
Where do you think Rodgers is going to play next year? You think he'll stay in Green Bay, or is he going to Denver? Or
I want him to come to Tampa. I know it's not going to happen, but I just want him to come to Tampa. I think we get a Super Bowl again with Rodgers.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to guess. I mean, I don't know if he. I mean, I don't know if he stays there. The 49ers. I don't know. That might be it.
Yeah, so I don't think he stays. But with the coach, going to Denver, I think that's one reason why he's the head coach of Denver now. You know how those backdoor things happen, and there's reasons.
Yeah. We'll take you if you can bring him with you.
Exactly. When was the last UFC you were at? Final couple questions. I know you're.
The last one I was at. It wasn't long ago.
I mean, do you go to him? Often.
I go to him all the time. As much as I can. I mean, I like to go to him. I mean, it was asking me, do you go to all the UFCs? I'm like, there's like
you can't.
Like 45 a year.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'd be traveling all the time.
What kind of we could do this for the next 16 weeks of these types of questions. But what kind of memorabilia did you keep? What did you keep of your long career?
It's funny as I go through some stuff. My sister lost a storage room, like storage locker, a while back, and I think some people have some of my shorts. I have no idea.
Really?
Because they just
because they took it from your storage locker.
Storage locker, yeah.
Can we make a trip to your storage locker before I leave?
I don't know what the storage locker.
You don't know where it is.
No, it was closed. It was closed. I mean, she forgot about it. And
really?
They seized it or whatever.
So it was one of those storage war things.
I found out about it because I had my Bogu helmet from when I was a kid, and I bought it at the Santa Maria thing for like $20. And it's like a Bogu helmet that I used to wear when I would spar with back when I was doing karate when I was a kid. And someone saying it had my initials under it, and he was wearing that thing. The guy goes, that I used to train with, goes, "Wait, where'd you get that?" I got the thing in Santa Maria, and he's like, "Wait, is that? See, that's Chuck Liddell's. That's his helmet." And he actually offered to give it back to me. I said, "Hey, man, you using it?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You can keep it, man."
Oh, that was really nice of him to give it back.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Cool of you also to let him.
What's next for you? What's coming up? What's any movie roles? Any?
I'm working on some stuff. I'm trying to get back into doing some movies now. I mean, I had a few things lined up during COVID, and they just kind of fell through. So, trying to get that going. We're gonna do a little stuff. We're working on some stuff with some charity stuff with do the E3 Ranch stuff with those guys. Like getting out there and doing some stuff with the veterans out there.
Then you do a lot with Jay Glazer and his veteran thing, right?
Oh, definitely work with Jay and MVP, and that's been going great. Those guys are awesome.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate you coming out. I know it was a long line to get through. Now we've learned a few things, but I appreciate it. It's great seeing you.
Oh, thanks for having me. Always.
And I love the USA jersey. Just want to mention he's wearing one.
Absolutely. All right, let's go hit a break. Coming to you live from Radio Row. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by Apeman Strong and Staff Stone. We'll be right back.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey, yo, this is Rocky Balboa. Here, talking sports with Randy Harris. Hey, yo, I got the whole family over here. I got, yo, Adrian, Coffin, Lincoln, yo, Butkus. Hey, yo, man, how that sound, man? I don't want to sound like a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, face demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are Apeman strong.
The biggest bare knuckle event ever, Knuckle Mania 2. It's a grudge match as Mike Perry takes on Julian Lane. Also, Luis Palomino defends his title against the hard-hitting Martin Smash Brown. And Christine Faria knuckles up with Britain Hart for the second time. This time, it's for the first ever women's flyweight title. Plus, Chad Mendez makes his highly anticipated debut against BKFC vet Fames. Saturday, February 19th, only on Bare Knuckle TV. Download it at bkfc.com.
The Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, presented by RP Funding, roars through the streets of beautiful downtown St. Petersburg, February 25th to the 27th. Tickets are on sale now at gpstpete.com. It's fast, fun, family entertainment, jam-packed into all 3 days. 10 races in all are on the weekend schedule. The big NTT IndyCar Series race takes the green flag on Sunday afternoon. It all happens at the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, presented by RP Funding, February 25th to the 27th. Get your tickets at gpstpete.com.
We will once again broadcast from Radio Row in the upcoming Super Bowl, and very excited to announce that our home base will be the Hyatt House in Anaheim. The Hyatt House is located near Angel Stadium, Disneyland, and the Honda Center, and a short drive from LAX. They also provide free breakfast. Yes, please. From the suites with kitchens or the bunk beds for the kids, they have many options for your experience. Check out these reviews from previous guests. One reviewer said the location was just perfect, while another said the hotel was great and staff was friendly. If you're headed to visit Anaheim or the LA area, you'll want to call the Hyatt House at Convention Center your home base as well.
What were you doing 10 years ago? For me, I founded the Tour de Pizza, Tampa Bay's only cycling-themed pizzeria, where we combine gourmet pizza with an active lifestyle. Home of the world-famous pizza diet? At Tour de Pizza, we truly have a pizza for every body. Classic New York style, Chicago deep dish, whole wheat low carb, flax and millet grain-free, and cauliflower crust to name a few. Proudly serving the greater St. Petersburg area for the past decade and running. 2 locations, 1 great pizza. That's Tour de Pizza.
Calling all Rocky Balboa fans, check out the sock collection available at oddsocksofficial.com. If you're a Breaking Bad fan or WWE or South Park, check out the sock collection available at oddsocksofficial.com. Scarface, Godfather, Back to the Future, and Jaws, and many others available at oddsocksofficial.com. Double Dare, SpongeBob, Street Fighter, and did I mention Rocky Balboa? All available at oddsocksofficial.com. That's oddsocksofficial.com. If you can't find a pair to wear, then why do you have feet?
Got bills? Looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is. As the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast and Texas, Staff Zone has plenty of work to go around, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go now to www.thestaffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is Brandon Silvera from Nashville Star, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
And we are back. This is a special edition of Knockout Radio, coming to you live from Super Bowl 56 out in L.A. And after talking to Chuck Liddell, I think I want to go look at some Storage Wars available lockers, because you never know what you're going to find. I always thought those shows were fake, Randy. I always thought they were staged. You know, people are like, oh, I found this rare 1750 Bitcoin, and it was in a trunk, and now it's worth $100 billion. But who knows?
Obviously, it's true.
Maybe there's real memorabilia sitting in storage lockers all over the world.
We'll talk more about the conversation we just had with Chuck, and we got Chuck on real quick, and he stood in line for an hour and a half, and I said, I didn't want Chuck, to punch me in the face because we've been friends forever. But Bill Romanowski was put off for a couple of minutes. My fault. I apologize. I don't want you punching me in the face either.
Thought any safer, Randy.
I won't punch you in the face. I'll just choke you.
Oh, there you go. That's the Which ring are you wearing?
That's my first one with the Broncos.
Okay, you have 4.
And I have 4, and that's the one.
Woo!
You know what?
Gorgeous.
So here's how it went down. I won 2 Super Bowls back-to-back with the 49ers. And I was like, that was my first and second year in the league. So I was like, yeah, this is easy. Get drafted and win Super Bowls. And there was an 8-year drought. I lost 3 NFC championship games and 1 to the Giants, 2 to the Cowboys. And I realized how hard it really was. And I realized how special it was and how much I missed it. And to get back 2 more times, with the Broncos was special. But the one when we beat the Green Bay Packers, and that's what this one is, was beyond special for me.
Talk about for a second, Brady just came to Tampa. We're based out of Tampa.
Yeah.
And, a lot of teams, do win a Super Bowl. Not a lot of teams. Teams win a Super Bowl, and it's difficult to go back-to-back. What is so different about it? What makes the second year more difficult than the first? Is it the target?
Here's what happens. You become the target, and you get everybody's best shot. And it's kind of like they measure their where they are in the league by whether they can beat you or not.
Right.
And, when a team kind of goes into it like, because here's what happens is for all those years at the 49ers and at the Broncos, what would go on, it's like the whole offseason, it's like teams studied you and what you do on defense, what you do on offense, and what they can do to beat you. And when I say you get their best shot, you get their best shot.
So as a player, how do you combat that?
You know what? As a team, as a player, hey, it's your individual battles, play in and play out. But as a team, if you handle it well, it makes you better.
What is it like playing? And you played with a lot of great players, and I'm going to bring up Brady again because it's the I've been told by so many people they don't even say Roger that anymore. They say Brady that.
Yeah, it's
I
love it. What's it like playing with those types of players? And you were one of those players as well that you didn't really demand respect. You just got it because it was you or it's Brady or it's earned it. You earned it.
I will say this, I became a fan of Tom Brady. I really did. I played against him.
Right.
And when I was in Oakland, we beat New England out at the Coliseum 2002 later in the season. And, it was like it still kind of kept me like, hey, wait a minute. I'm still a little bit,
right.
I played against him, so I'm not that old, which I'm getting up there. But to see what he did, I wanted to play till I was 40. I made it till I was 37. And I played 16 years, 269 straight games.
Oof.
And basically my brain gave out on me. I was getting concussed every time I would hit someone really good. And if I kept it up, it was just going to be really bad.
Right. And that was really back when you didn't tell people you were concussed.
Oh, no.
Where now you go under the tent and you do all that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
What you did was you hit somebody, and what you did would shake it off. And on some level, it wasn't a good hit unless you really got your bell rung a little bit.
Wow.
Unless you got concussed or whether you gave someone a concussion or not. Right. That kind of dictated whether, hey, that was a good hit.
Number one Google question for Bill Romanowski happens to be, number one, how many concussions did Bill Romanowski have?
I had 20 documented.
I was going to say, you probably don't know how many.
I had 20 documented. So I would probably put the number somewhere between 50 and 75.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. It's a different world back then in football.
Completely.
A different game. What do you think of the change? I'm old school. I go back to...
I think it's good. They're trying to preserve and protect players' brains. Okay, but yeah, what you have to realize the game.
It's violent.
It is violent, and you might protect the quarterback from getting concussed.
Right.
You might protect the receivers over the middle, but it's all that pounding, in the trenches. You're not getting rid of that.
Right.
You're not. Hey, the hits that a running back takes when he's running up the middle, you're not taking those hits away.
Doesn't
that's
go.
Football.
That is football.
Football, yeah.
Exactly.
Let's switch gears from football to Lean One and all the nutrition things that you do.
Yeah. I have a great partnership with Smoothie King, which is in your neck of the woods. We have the Lean One smoothie there, and they're great to work with, a great partner, and we're the best tasting smoothie in their shop, period. And I started Nutrition 53, and I wanted to take care of three things. I wanted good sleep, I wanted to get lean after football, and I wanted to think better. And so I worked with the top scientists and nutritionists in the world. I developed three products. I developed Lean One Sleep. I developed Lean One Fat Burning Meal Replacement and Lean One Neuro. And all three of the products are amazing. I take them every day. I hope that my brain is going to be all right. I had a mom that died of Alzheimer's. So it's something that I think about and worry about, because I don't want that happening to me. And my mom didn't do the trauma to her brain that I did every Sunday.
After the top of the hour, I was going to introduce you to Chuck Liddell. I don't know if you know Chuck. Chuck's a good friend of mine.
He used to take my neuro product.
Well, I was going to tell you some stuff that he's told me. We'll talk off the air that has helped him as well.
Yeah.
So maybe the two of you can talk real quick and, whatever he's doing, blah, 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 blah. So what's up next for you?
You know what? My next company is going to be Forever 53, and it's all about anti-aging.
Okay.
I love that. I love that stuff.
What's the focus? Is it focus on skin or
well,
on
what it
health
is, it's skin. It's dialing in hormones. It's dialing in nutrients. It's making sure, every day is about thriving, not surviving. And, I have a saying, live like you mean it, and don't let the old man in, because he's knocking every day. And, he's telling you, you don't need to work out today. I know you're a little sore, I know that
guy.
Just take it easy.
Actually, it's Randy Harris in your head going, hey.
Well, what's funny is I see some people that are my age, and I look at it and I go, damn, do I look that bad? Do I look that old?
Hey.
But so Brad and Monica, can they make a phone call and get you on Survivor, or what do we need to do?
Oh, that would be awesome. I would love to see a Survivor with just ex-NFL players.
Oh, it'd be
Wouldn't
awesome.
that be great?
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
Oh, it would be. And
think of the alliances there.
Yeah, totally.
Brad and Monica are amazing. I love them. A lot of fun to be with, and I loved watching them on Survivor.
Yeah, I hosted Brad's show for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
His radio show in Tampa. Bill, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Leave us some info so that we can keep talking about your product
Absolutely.
at Smoothie King. And, it doesn't have to be every 2 years that we talk, because we
know.
talked 2 years ago on Radio Row.
Yeah.
We can do it more often.
Well, I skipped last year.
Well, I didn't, but nobody else was there but me.
Was there. Yeah.
And the only other Super Bowl I skipped in like the last 10, 12 years was Minnesota. I didn't go to Minnesota.
It's a little cold there, but you played in the cold.
I know. I'm not. I get careless. I love to ski.
It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's go hit our final break of the afternoon, coming to you live from Radio Row here in, I keep saying Las Vegas, it's Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, L.A.
Brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back.
Fireball. This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hi, this is Ozzie Smith, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, If you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are Apeman strong.
What were you doing 10 years ago? For me, I founded the Tour de Pizza, Tampa Bay's only cycling-themed pizzeria, where we combine gourmet pizza with an active lifestyle. Home of the world-famous pizza diet? At Tour de Pizza, we truly have a pizza for every body. Classic New York style, Chicago deep dish, whole wheat low carb, flaxen millet grain free, and cauliflower crust to name a few. Proudly serving the greater St. Petersburg area for the past decade and running. 2 locations, 1 great pizza. That's Tour de Pizza.
We will once again broadcast from Radio Row in the upcoming Super Bowl, and very excited to announce that our home base will be the Hyatt House in Anaheim. The Hyatt House is located near Angel Stadium, Disneyland, and the Honda Center, and a short drive from LAX. They also provide free breakfast. Yes, please. From the suites with kitchens or the bunk beds for the kids, they have many options for your experience. Check out these reviews from previous guests. One reviewer said the location was just perfect, while another said the hotel was great and staff was friendly. If you're headed to visit Anaheim or the LA area, you'll want to call the Hyatt House at Convention Center your home base as well.
The biggest bare knuckle event ever, Knuckle Mania 2. It's a grudge match as Mike Perry takes on Julian Lane. Also, Luis Palomino defends his title against the hard-hitting Martin Smash Brown. And Christine Faria knuckles up with Britt Hart for the second time. This time, it's for the first ever women's flyweight title. Plus, Chad Mendez makes his highly anticipated debut against BKFC vet Fames. Saturday, February 19th, only on Bare Knuckle TV. Download it at bkfc.com.
Construction companies always face hiring challenges. Do you need temporary help on your project? Or maybe you want a true partner for all of your staffing needs? Staff Zone is construction staffing excellence, providing both skilled and general labor positions. And we want to work for you. For all of your construction staffing needs, call us at 877-247-ZONE or visit us online at thestaffzone.com to find your local branch. Our staffing professionals are eager and ready to earn your business. That's 877-247-ZONE.
I'm Ben Roethlisberger. You're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Going live, back to Media Row out there. Now, Randy, we talked about Romanowski's consecutive game streak, 243 in comparison. The Bucks defensive tackle Sue is at 131, which is the longest streak in the NFL. But the real consecutive streak is how many Super Bowls have you covered in your career, Randy?
Honestly, I don't know. I would have to, literally, count them and look at them and all that kind of stuff. But, I'm going to say this. I asked Chuck about, then and now, and he is getting mobbed on Radio Row. Now, it's not as packed as normal, obviously, but he cannot walk past a single table or booth without being attacked. And that shows you the legendary status of Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, he's got an entourage that isn't even his.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank God at least, Lightning is with him. But
right.
and I hate to always compare this kind of stuff, but, you look at the Israels, you look at the Conor McGregors. I truly believe, Matt, that Chuck Liddell would be bigger than Conor McGregor today.
It's possible. It's possible.
It's a hypothetical. We don't know.
I don't think Chuck had the sweat. He didn't have the showman. He wasn't the showman like Conor is. I don't think anybody's better than Conor at what Conor does.
With the antics and such. But so let me tell you this real quick. So Bill Romanowski is sitting here and he's like, "Hey, do you mind if I get up and go over and say hi?" And, I'm trying to get ready to get him on because we were a couple minutes behind. And he said it again. And I said, "Yeah, sure." He went over to say hi to some guy you've never heard of.
Who?
What was the actor's name? We had an actor on Tuesday. Joe, what's his name?
Joe. Montega. Well, this guy's
name was
Fat
Joe
Tony.
Montana.
Oh, Joe Montana.
Montana's here. Joe Montana's just 10 feet away from us earlier. And it's great because, Montana, it's so wonderful to see him come out because he's just not, a visible guy. He doesn't do a lot of press. He could have been the greatest broadcaster. He could have done anything after he retired from the San Francisco 49ers. And honestly, I'm starting to wonder maybe he's coming out now because
he's coming
Brady
back. He's going to play the Bucs.
Yeah, Brady. Yeah.
Well,
and Brady is off. taken over as the number one quarterback of all time.
He's a fighter.
Forever.
He's a fighter too. Somebody broke into his house and he tackled him and beat him down. And on Media Row, a lot of scrimmages, scuffages.
Sure. All right, day 3 is now complete, coming to you live from Radio Row. More antics tomorrow. We're going to do more with the Warrior Wear games. We may make that trip up to Jacksonville. We're going to talk to them about that. Some more surprises. Yuli Diaz coming tomorrow. Great stuff from you guys back at the station. I want to thank Apeman Strong, Staff Zone, the Hyatt House, and Odd Sock Official. See everybody next week, or tomorrow. See everybody tomorrow. Trying to get out of here early.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey everybody, this is James Young from the rock band Styx, and you are talking sports with Randy Harris. Don't touch that dial.
Got bills? Looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is. As the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast and Texas, Staff Zone has plenty of work to go around, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go now to www.thestaffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. 8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
WZHR, Zephyr Hills.
FM 104.3.
Listen.